Like, you ain't got to agree with the man. You ain't got to ever go back to the man. But right is just right. And if that's the father of your child, then guess what? They deserve to have a relationship with that child just like you do. Point blank. And you are not God nor the judge to decide. And it's sad that we have to have judges doing that. I've seen it every day, like I said. You know, I have my own situations. You know, it's not always the woman who's bitter. Okay, you got some bitter men. You got some vengeful men. You know, you got some, if I can't have it, nobody else. You got all kind of stuff. And it goes back to each individual person needs to grow up, be responsible, take responsibility for the decision you make, and go from there. If it didn't work, guess what? It didn't work. Dust off, keep the kid happy in the middle, and y'all just do your thing on the other side. But that child should not be affected in one way or another. And I'm just grateful to God that my son is being raised in a healthy co-parenting situation at this point. And even when it wasn't as healthy, okay, because it went, believe me, I got some stories. We can laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny then. Even then, I still kept my son out the middle. I did my part. I cannot speak for anyone else. I know I did my part. And like my mom did with me, her and my father, it wasn't, I don't think she really had a relationship with him. It was one of those, oops, it happened kind of thing. You know, I'm like a Jesus birth. Virgin Mary. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother podcast. But she never spoke negative. She never spoke ill of my biological father. Never. She always told me, you're a smart girl. You're going to grow up and you're going to figure things out on your own. Now, I wish she had told me a little bit more, you know, because right now her mind, she's had some sicknesses, and so she don't really remember a lot of stuff. He passed away. So there's still a lot of missing pieces. And that's why I speak on things the way I do, because I have had, my life has been a snippet of a lot of different scenarios. I've been the daughter. I've been the wife. I've been the ex. I've been the next. I've been, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had a hand in each scenario, so I see it from different angles. So I can't really like be, what's the word, partial. Like, I have to be like be impartial. I cannot take sides, because it goes each way. And I think if we look at it more so like that, if more women would look at it from the man's perspective and more men will look at it from the woman's perspective. But see, you got to be healthy and you got to be healed and you got to be mature in order to do that. And that's just it. You got a lot of folks out there, in age they're grown, but in maturity they're like children. You got kids who get along better than adults. You know, they know how to forgive and move past and keep things at a distance. You know, okay, you stole my last truck, so I'm not going to let you play with my trucks, but I'll give you a book, but you can't have my truck because you just seem to have a fetish with my trucks. I mean, if you watch kids, they like, no, and they'll tell them, no, you play with this. I'ma play with this. You know, sometimes in life, if you would just be mature, realize you got in that situation. That was your choice. So how you now gonna hold everything against the other person? No, it's not fair. And I'm telling you, whether you think you're getting away or not, it's gonna come back and bite you in the butt, big time. Karma, law of attraction, it's real. It's real, y'all. You ain't got to believe in it. You ain't got to, you know, live according. It happens. And it's gonna happen. So as my grandfather used to always say, if you do good, good will follow you. In every situation, no matter what I dealt with through that almost 10 years situation, I did good. I kept myself from, I didn't believe me. I get it. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. And you want to take your vengeance. Lord, you do. But what does that serve? And whatever you do, it's going to come back. It's coming back. It may not come back the same way, but sooner or later it's coming back. It's like, y'all know them boomerangs we used to play as kids? You throw it. That boomerang, you don't see it nowhere, but it's going to come back and pop you in the back of your head. So you have to do right if you want right to follow you. If you want good to come back, then you put good out. I don't care what other people are putting out. That's not your issue. That's not your concern. You do good, and good will be repaid to you. Okay? So, let's get to the next scenario. It says, let's put some music on while we listen. You enroll in a class, and you go to class your first day. You sit by a guy or girl who has not yet purchased his or her book, and they ask, can we share? One thing leads to another, and by the end of the semester, you go from sharing a book to sharing an apartment to sharing your life. Now, where they do that at? But I promise you it's happened, and it happens, right? By the next class, the girl is pregnant, has to drop out, and there goes the future. Ladies, let us stop dating the wrong Mr. Rights. The wrong Mr. Right is someone who is right for someone else, but wrong for you. Gents, let's stop letting the breasts, the hips, the thighs, oh my, stop letting it get you in trouble and ruin your life forever. I have had many conversations with men, and they will tell you they wish to the day that they had a saw her and kept it pushing. The day, they remember that day like it was yesterday, because I know they play it in the back of their head where they walked up and said, excuse me, how you doing? They wish they had never said them words and they had kept moving. I'm telling you, I've heard it. Ladies, it's a hard pill to swallow, but it happens. And they may be with you now, but sometimes they gone, like I said. My grandfather and my granny, love them too. I remember specifically 2 different separate times away from each other. I went to each one and I said, can I ask you a question? And they never told me no. They were like, yeah, what is it? My grandpa, sure, what? Granny, yeah, T. I said, if you had the chance to do it all over again, would you have married Gigi? I asked my grandpa. Before I could get it out of my mouth, good. He was shaking his head. You would have thought it was a bobblehead. It was going to come off. I said, good Lord. No, I would have never married that woman. I said, that's cold. Now, he have his own, of course, we all have our own reasons why, whatever, but I asked her, he thinking he the man of the hour, he think he the man in the man. I asked her. She said, T, if I right now, sometimes I think if I could get me a one-way bus ticket, because they old school, y'all, they don't take planes, they take buses, right? The Greyhound. She said if I could get me a one-way bus ticket, it don't matter where it is. I get on that bus and I would never come back. I said, Gigi. She said, nah, but I know. She said, y'all involved, so, that would make me think twice. But if it wasn't me for y'all, I'm like, wow. That says a lot. Now, mind you guys, they were married for almost 65 years before my granny passed. She was the first to go before she transitioned. So they had been through a whole lot. 65 years. Some of us can't last 65 days. 6 or 5 weeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they saw many moons together. They, man, talk about going through changes with a person, mental, emotional. Like, they saw each other change, right? So, I mean, you just have to realize that when you make that split decision, that 1 second, whether it's the alcohol talking, whether it's your loneliness talking, just take a second, just take another breath and realize this choice that you're about to embark on with another person could change your life for the rest of your life, whether it's a good change or a bad change, and that's a kind of like a flip of a coin sometimes to know, because you know what you're coming into it with, but you don't know the mindset of the other person. So you got to take all that into consideration, right? Let's see. We've been on here for a minute now already. I think I'm going to stop because this next chapter is kind of lengthy. It says, do your research. And I'm looking at the gist of it and what I'm going to give you a little overview. This is what we're going to talk about next. You know how when you go to purchase a house, or when you're about to get your next model car, or even cell phone, do you just say, you know what, I need a new phone, and you just go to the store, walk in, and just grab the first phone? You ain't researched, you ain't looked it up. No, we research more on materialistic property than we do the person we're gonna spend the rest of our life with. And on that note, we're gonna crank it up, and we're gonna let you dwell on that for a minute, because that said a lot without saying a lot. So you already know, next time we can just talk about that one thing in particular, and it would go another 30-40 minutes. So I love you all. I wish you all a beautiful Saturday. It's beautiful in my neck of the woods. Nice, clear. Well, it's a little cloudy, but it's still nice. It's all in your perspective, how you look at it. So I hope I've said something to give you that aha smile. You might even get a little angry, but sometimes that's good. Contrast is good because it helps you see what you do want and what you don't want. And it helps you make better, clearer, more responsible decisions. And that's the key, in life. We want to start making better decisions. Some of us getting too old to be making these crazy decisions. We got to make better decisions, better choices. Alright? So I wish you much love and much peace. Don't forget, contact me if you listen to this. If you want to hear me talk about a subject, hey, I'm open. Send me a DM, send me a text. One day I'm going to do a thing where I take calls live. We're going to do that. I'm going to get into it. This is just my 12th episode, so give me some time. Get my feet wet. Alright? So, enjoy your day. And this has been Lock Marie of the Lock Marie Talk Show. And I will see you on the next podcast or video. Peace.